Hello and welcome. This message is weird, but some of us are frozen at the bus stop since 8 years old. Some of us are frozen at the bus stop since 8 years old. And it could be a different number for you, but I was getting information that somebody's taking a gamble or gambling, or there's something about what you're going through is it's like gambling. You have to take a gamble. So something said, get a number. So I gotta do this. Hold on. Okay, so we got number 16. And I'm seeing like a 16-year-old. So there could be like a pivotal time in your life. Maybe when you were a teenager, somewhere between 8 years and 16 that happened to you. That has to do with either a parent wound, because you had to make a choice. There's a dramatic choice you had to make. And I'm seeing how this caused tremendous suffering. The schizophrenia card came out. So, and also God is a woman. God is a woman is actually the first card that came out. And then it said period, literally the card period. So it said, God is a woman, period. And don't take things too literal here, please. But God is a woman, period, schizophrenia. So it's almost like the mother goddess energy that tried to nurture you. There's something about that energy being blocked. I feel like something about your feminine side was tormented, or you were forced. Something about force. 8 years old, 16 years old. So something that happened, I'm seeing it as like a shift, like a paradigm shift that happened to you when you were a child. And it's like you had to change the way that you think. Okay, the mascot. The mascot is a character that a child becomes in a family dynamic and we can alter between all these different characters at different times in our life. So something about what happened to you, your parents could have got divorced. A lot of things could have happened. But it's by 16 years old, somewhere between 8 and 16 years old, you had to be the mascot. You had to be the goof. You had to learn humor. You had to somehow adapt. So the mascot is to break the tension, lighten the mood with laughter. It's the cute one, feels powerless and tries to interrupt tension, anger, and conflict or violence or other unpleasant situations, seeks to be the center of attention, uses humor to communicate and to confront family dysfunction indirectly. Caseloads. So this type of individual as an adult has caseloads or endless work in front of them because they need to stay really busy. Okay, they rather than have friends, they need to stay busy with work, because there's a break in whoever I'm speaking to. There's a break in your psyche that you're trying to heal a wound, a parent wound of some kind. Gossip came out. Gossip. It says, yeah, real life. So gossip is the oldest form of witchcraft, a sharp tongue and mind to send energy to another. When two or more people gather to attack. So there's a lot of chitter chatter in your experience, a lot of words that have been said, casted over your life. And this chitter chatter that's been said, something that's been said has you stuck. Some of us are frozen at the bus stop since 8 years old. Like imagine, it's like you're this child. You're this child, and then And then something says, nope, you don't get to be kid anymore. I'm taking your essence, and you now need to adult. You're very young, and now you need to adult and adapt. You need to be tough now. You don't get to do what the other 8-year-olds are doing. You don't get to be 16, have a sweet 16. None of that exists anymore for you. It's all something that was going on in your home. Why is God as a woman here? Feminine nature. Interesting. God is a woman, period. Feminine nature. It's like you didn't get to learn how to be a woman. You didn't get to learn how to be feminine. You didn't get that touch. Why? Oh. Communism, my God. Such a strong reason. Communism is a political theory advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and need. More military than people, government controlled and intimidating. So society forced your family in a way. Interesting. Okay, so your family has been forced into something happened when you were little, where maybe you had a schizophrenic parent, maybe your parent lost their mind, maybe they both did. There was some sort of agitation in the home that inspired you to find humor and laughter because you couldn't find it at home. So guys, we're dealing with non-flesh and blood. Understand, there's an attack. There's an attack that's happening from higher realms. It's not as simple as the surface. But what we're dealing with here is it's a very real thing. It's very real. Oh. AI came out. Why is AI here? Know the difference. Interesting. Okay. So I'm seeing some sort of mind control technology, communism. It was a plan. From the other side, there's been a plan to separate and divide. And we have beings that are extraterrestrial, because the Galactic Federation and God as a woman, with not human coming out, it just means that there's higher forces. Whether you believe in God, spirit guides, however you perceive other dimensional beings, these forces are working behind the scene. And something that your family did forced you into this position that was you were divided through socioeconomic means, whether, like, I'm seeing like a middle class family becoming poor, some sort of division. And a lot of the attack was done through technology. As technology was introduced, we didn't realize how it could be a weapon to divide the family. Tell me more about AI. So I'm seeing how so you were required and forced to learn how to disassociate and disconnect yourself from your family or from the drama. Okay, so there's a little bit of a background, of what you're dealing with right now. You're dealing with a lot of work. It's heavy. It's like, I work a lot. I work too much. I'm tired. I can't figure out why. Why do I laugh at myself when I really want to cry? Why do I laugh at myself when I really want to cry? Because there's a little you inside there that wants to be remembered. You're lost in your psyche. You're lost in your psyche. You're lost and disconnected and distracted. Schizophrenia and psychopath like that, it makes me feel like I'm seeing how you have this like golden aura. I'm seeing a little baby though. So I'm seeing you as a baby. And I'm seeing you have this golden light around you. And then I'm seeing your parents have their lights dimmed. Their lights are being turned off. And as you're growing up, your light is being sucked out of you. It's being, it's not being fueled. It's not being added to. I don't know that word. Like, lit. It's not lighting. No one's lighting your flame. So you're getting darker and darker, but you still have this heart because you're searching for your feminine nature. You're searching for feminine, like nurturing energy, love from a mother, from your spirit team, the beings that are working outside of the interdimensional barrier. They're trying to reconnect to you. And they said, they're very proud. They're very proud of how far you've come and how you've been able to stay optimistic and find the humor in the sadness, because there's a tremendous sadness in your heart. You feel like people are just more worried about gossip and money and things and work. And you even developed that, and you're that's why you feel that sadness, because it's like now you're following that path and you're trying to figure out how to get out of that energy. What stories were you told? Mythology came out. Like, there's been words spoken about your family that I feel like are unresolved since you were little, as you were maturing, as you were going from child to adult. 6 and 1 is also 7, the number of completion. As you solidified, that was part of the enemy's plan. They knew that if they could get you, when you were little, because you're a strong soul though. Those that are attacked when they're young, it's because time doesn't exist. And in the spirit realm, beings can see that stuff, you know? They don't see like we do in the now, in the present. They're able to see what's to become and energy signatures, and if your aura is vibrating really high, or if you're a golden child or whatever, if you have that energy to you, they know. And the attack was on you when you were little. So what do you do now? What do you do now is the question, right? One, have you understood this is a big question. Do you understand where you're from? So there's a lineage. There's a lineage annihilation that wants to happen, where one race of beings, not like black and white, but like DNA, There's a corrupted DNA, and then there's a non-corrupted DNA. Okay? Period. And your combination of how your genes came about are in such a way that you have mostly removed the corrupt DNA from your body. So you are vibrating as a non-corrupt human, and you make good choices. You have goodness in your heart. And because of that, you are being attacked in the spirit world. Your parents were attacked heavily because of the schizophrenia with the psychopath. It's like somebody lost emotion and feeling, or was born that way. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't matter, because that's what they're showing up as. And they were hoping that your epigenetics would be all the genes that they wanted to, that they didn't want you to come into this world with, so you would be goodness, so you would be a light in the world. They wanted to turn those genes off. So you couldn't find your feminine nature. So you couldn't find the love that you wanted to produce into the world, to be harmonious and receive what it is you came here to receive. They wanted you to not find your intuition. They wanted you to disassociate and completely disconnect from reality, so you would also fall victim to this schizophrenic, psychopathic vibration. There's a frequency band they wanted to trap you in. Time. You are the most important project you will ever work on. I'm getting an interesting request here from a team beings outside of my head, okay? In my head, wherever y'all are. But they want me to read this to you, so I'm gonna do it. It's Time by NF, if you want to hear the song. Even if we both break down tonight and you say you hate me and we go to bed angry, I know everything will be all right. I'll be here waiting. I promise I'm changing. I promise I'm changing. You see how my voice broke right there? Maybe they're lying. I just need time. A little time to show you I'm worth it. I know that I can be a different person. I'm a stress case, drive you up the wall when I'm working. Actually, I'm probably worse when I'm not. Actually, this is now showing me this is you. You're speaking these words. You're working a lot. Okay, actually, I'm probably worse when I'm not. You don't deserve it. Make you nervous because you know I'm gonna break soon. Every time I do, I say something that hurts you. Acting like I'm gone, but we both in the same room. I don't like to be wrong, which I know you relate to. And I know I make you feel like you're at the end of your rope. That's when I look at you and tell you I'd be better alone. Just the pride talking, isn't it? Because both of us know I'm the definition of wreck. If you look into my soul, comes out the most when I feel I'm in a vulnerable place. Made a lot of mistakes. I wish I knew how to erase. When I'm afraid, might get distant and I push you away because no matter the case, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I get it. I get it. So you, my friends, are trying to figure out why in your current relationship, you're messing up so badly when you want to be good. You know that you're good, but when you were little, I'm seeing you told yourself you were bad. Your parents, the way that they responded to you when you lost that childlike view of the world, when you had to adapt and mature into your puberty years. There's something where you went from I'm good to thinking I'm bad. And because you think you're bad, you're working really, really hard to prove that you're not bad, that you are good, that you are of value, you are worthy to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. Even if we both break down tonight and we go to bed angry, you're in a relationship and you love this person, but you keep messing up. Maybe you both are. Maybe you both come from trauma. But you can only really do what you can do, right? You can't really fix another person. And I'm seeing you understand that there's something in you from childhood, because some of us are frozen at the bus stop since 8 years old. This little you is inside hiding. Look up NF Mansion. That's also coming up. You've developed this character, this mascot, to pretend and parade around that everything is okay. But now that reality is setting in and only the truth can come out because we can't wear masks anymore, now that time has passed, all your childhood trauma that you didn't want to talk about, face, or deal with, that you hid behind that mascot, it's coming up in your relationship. It's replaying it out. You are acting it out to the person that you love, and you're like angry with yourself because remember, you were good. You were a good child. And then because of your circumstances, you now tell yourself that you're bad. So in order to be good, you must work really, really hard. Force yourself to work like a damn machine, okay? Which is the enemy's trap. That was the point. They wanted you to do that so you would be focused on the wrong thing. I'm real itchy. But you are waiting. You're waiting for things to come in. Your vibration itself is showing up as materially successful. So I feel like you understand the physical world very well. You understand how to make money. You understand how to produce what you need in the material realm, but you're really struggling in the love department. And that's because of all of this that's coming up. You dealing with these parents that are not showing up for you in the way that you need, and understanding why something happened. That's why history is important. It's to know what happened to you. To understand, not to repeat, because you're literally reenacting what's happening, what happened to you. And then you disassociate instead when you don't focus on why it happened, and you choose to be the mascot and to parade. You disassociate and disconnect from reality and create your own little world that isn't functioning harmoniously. Because, slow down, meditation, grounding, connect, stillness, calm. I'm just seeing you like really, really frustrated in a partnership. Really, really frustrated. And maybe this person is not, let's ask about that person. Let's see because sometimes we're in a relationship and we're frustrated. And maybe, let's just see, I don't want to guess. What should you do about your partnership? What should you do about your current partnership? Physical beauty doesn't last forever. Okay. Is this a physical attraction? Is this I have a warm body next to me type of energy? I don't want to be alone because alone equals sad. Alone forces me to deal with my problems. Are you understanding that you are in because you understand the physical world so much, you're in a union, a connection that only, it's like a blanket. Like I'm cold and I put on a blanket physically, but that blanket is a temporary thing, you know. How do I say that? Okay, tell me more about this person, this relationship. Let's just keep going. Yeah, okay. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. Go out with a bang. Interesting. Is this person trustworthy? Why would we go out with a bang? Boys are supposed to ruin your lipstick, not your mascara. All right. Physical beauty doesn't last forever, and boys are not supposed to ruin your lipstick. Okay? Or they are supposed to ruin your lipstick, not your mascara. Use a freaking condom. Okay. My friend, I did a reading yesterday, and I think that it's very important for you to watch. Okay, let's just pause. Let's hit the bell. Let's hit this one out. Let's get a different. Okay. Let's talk about this. You are interacting with someone who is a distraction, okay? They're distracting you, and it looks like you're in your physical beauty era, which is, doesn't matter, but you're in it. And boys are supposed to ruin your lipstick, not your mascara. They're not supposed to make you cry. You're blaming yourself. I see that song now is, yes, you believe. This is interesting. You're blaming yourself a lot. You're putting a lot of the burden on yourself. Okay? This is another side to yesterday's reading. You are seeing, you're like, I'll just work harder. You're a beautiful person because you are trying to put the effort in. You actually want to do the right thing. You don't want to live what your parents lived. You don't want to repeat that pattern. But at the same time, when you matched with this person's vibration, it was when you were unaware and not wanting to deal with it, right? And now that it's coming up, now that you're understanding it needs to be dealt with, you're realizing that who you're laying next to might be more of a physical attraction thing than they have to also work through their traumas. Not Human came out yesterday. Galactic Federation did not, but these are otherworldly influencers. And when we're dealing with other people's entity attachments, it can be mind-boggling to try to convince somebody that you know how to fix them when they can't. That's not how it works. Go out with a bang is like, it's like saying, ending what you're currently experiencing in a way that solidifies that. So, but not necessarily to then bury yourself in work, but to actually feel what you feel. You don't have to explain yourself to this person. You don't have to overly understand what they're going through or try to explain yourself. You don't owe this person like some extravagant explanation. Because use a freaking condom is a clear indication as to transmitting energy with somebody that could produce something you don't want to be produced, whether that's STD, pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean you don't want pregnancy if you do. It just means at this time and this moment with this particular individual, it's not the right time. Because the energy exchange isn't conducive to your growth. Because if you're frozen at the bus stop at 8 years old and you're in a grown adult relationship, you're going to struggle with the wounds of your childhood, making decisions from an emotional place that hasn't matured maybe to where you are currently. Physically, you're like physically older, but emotionally still young and innocent. Cause even if we both break down tonight, I'm just seeing you like, and we go to bed angry. I just need time. Ooh. And that's fine if they need time, or if you need time, whoever needs time. Because look, friends, it's okay to need time. If you need a little time or they need time, time is great to spend apart. If you've been so enmeshed with this person, and they are your person, let's say, time will tell. Time will reveal. As you go back, as you do your own thing, and you focus on what you need to focus on, because right now you're drowning. I just feel like you're drowning in this person's emotions and your emotions you share together, this emotional space. But it's drowning in that energy is pacifying you. It's not, you guys aren't growing together. You're growing in a way, but not together. And if you separate and you grow, and then let's say they grow, then you can maybe come together. But right now you guys are hindering each other's growth. You need to nurture yourself, and you didn't know how to, because as a child, when your parents had their issue with the psychopath schizophrenia, I'm really seeing that as your parents. It doesn't have to be literal. But I'm seeing this movie play out where you had a schizophrenic mother and a psychopathic father, literal or not. And those traits are playing out in your current dynamic. And if you stay there, if you believe in that reality, that's the paradigm you're going to stay in. That's the reality that's going to be. But you're being awakened and inspired to grow. You don't want to be laughed at. You don't want to be talked about. Know the difference. Know the difference. Yeah. We got untreated mental illness, astral projection, dream, and fairy tale. Because you're dealing with either an literally untreated mental illness. So there's a time and space in your mind that's fragmenting. And then when you go into your dream, when you astral project in the astral world, like when you sleep, you're generating this fairy tale when you wake up that's causing you to be so stressed out. And you're like, why am I so stressed about this? Why can't I make this work? Why? I just see you pushing and pushing and pushing. But what's beautiful is all this pressure you're putting on this relationship, on yourself, you're forcing your, like the diamond, like the pressure makes the diamond. You're forcing yourself to become something new. You're not willing to succumb to this dynamic that's played out in your childhood. You're not. You're too strong for this. Don't beat yourself up. I'm hearing like, God, I suck. I'm so stupid. Like, words that put you down. Somebody you observed, your parents put each other down, something like that, or just the lack of praise from your parents, just like, good job, you know, I'm proud of you. You did a great job there. Like, keep going. That coaching, that motivation that you did not have. You developed this voice, this introject in your mind of a parent figure that it's obviously your voice in your head, but it's a parent putting you down. And because you want to, like any child, in the subconscious is going to want to please their parents, whether you consciously admit that or not, you're trying to be what they said because you feel bad. Like, I'm the reason, I'm the problem for what's happened. So I must work hard to be better. So they'll love me. Then they'll love me. If I work hard, then they'll love me. I'll be lovable if I keep working, if I keep going, if I push. But pushing is causing this frantic mental exhaustion. We got these eyes here. You feel like being the mascot with these eyes on you. You feel like people are watching you and looking up to you, and you have to be strong for these people. But it's not about them. You need to be strong for yourself. This 8-year-old self, that's who you need to be strong for. That version of you. It really wants you to ground and to find calm, stillness, slow down, meditate. Remember, go through your memory bank. Clear the mind, clear the clutter. All that you think about that's caused you to disassociate like this. You are the creator. You literally are a creator. You created your life. As much as it's hard to believe, understand, you were a child. Your parents obviously created your life, and then after 16, you mature, and then you create your life based off subconscious programming. And now that you're functioning in the subconscious program where every day you wake up and you do your 24 hours and then you just go and run that system needs a reboot. Your system is functioning off of dysfunction. You have this dysfunctional foundation that requires you to drop this and focus on yourself. Remember, this was an attack. This is a spiritual attack on you. It's true. It's actually happening to us. Subconsciously, there are programs that get into the mind that were developed to strategically divide and conquer human beings. Because together we are strong, which is why the separation hurts so badly. It doesn't mean isolate yourself. Does not mean isolate yourself. But what does it mean? Six of Cups. The Lord of Pleasure, which is all about childhood and nostalgia, memories of the past. This is Scorpio energy. it's like there's a lot of emotions that you had to turn off because you are a creator being, because you came here to be the, what was it, the creator of your life? I forgot to leave that card out when it was in this deck, but it was on the back. It was like saying you are the greatest project that you're ever going to work on. And if you can channel and focus all this energy that you've been putting out at work, because you are very successful in 3D, you are a very successful 3D human. You're now developing your 4D self. You're now elevating yourself to the next level to understand how to work on yourself in the next realm, at the next stage. Because just like we graduate, just like we go to work and then college and then we become a career person or whatever, just like those elevations, there's spiritual elevations as well. And we're going to go through these metamorphoses throughout our life. And right now you're at this precipice. You're in between not seeing and seeing, but it does require conscious choice. You weren't trained as a child. We were not trained in this before. This was, the old world didn't teach this stuff. So it's very, very confusing and convoluted. It's like hard to see. I'm seeing 7 of Cups in my mind, which is the next card. It's like 6 of Cups and then the 7. So now as you're dealing with all of these emotions from your childhood, you then review all of the choices in front of you to follow the path of your parent that your parents laid and set for you, to follow the relationship that you're in, to continue in this dynamic the way that it is, to go out with a bang and tread your own path, try something new. What should you do? What's the next move? That's what you're questioning. You're really understanding. You're elevating your understanding. It's so beautiful. Give yourself credit. You're so hard on yourself. Stop texting and driving. Stop texting and driving. Social media. Social media is the devil. It is not. It's so stupid. I hate social media. I love YouTube. But social media, like where you look at this picture perfect life I've created part, oh my gosh. I was before that time, okay? I watched social media be created. I think I was, in my teens, it was about like MySpace and Black Planet, guys. If you know that, that's back when. And then something, I don't know, was it Facebook next? I didn't have a Facebook until I was like, or Facebook didn't even like exist. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't, my parents weren't on Facebook. You know what I mean? So they weren't out there gossiping and doing their thing. So as that came about, life's gotten real different, where we sit here and compare and like look at other people's lives and try to be like them. And that's so dumb. It's so dumb. And we think that they're living the good life. I'm seeing like a happy married couple with children, and you're like, well, I didn't have that, but I want that, so I must, there's some sort of comparison thing going on there. Two. Okay, so I'm seeing an interesting message here. And it's deep, so I'm sorry if many past lives ago is communicating to you through the dimensional barriers, where your ancestors, lineage, bloodline, DNA made a mistake, accepted, went in a direction, something like that, to where all your ancestors have fought the battles of that time period. And now we're fighting the battle of the social media time period of AI and all that. And the messages are coming loud and clear through the ether. The channel is now open. It wasn't open before. You couldn't hear this stuff before. It was very, very tiny whispers. Now it's you're able to hear and see and experience the call. And you're getting these messages from previous versions of yourself, your ancestors, guides that are past 3D limitation, elevated beings that can see ahead for you. And this kind of support that you have around you is saying, you're going to make the right choice because you were built for this time. It's hard. It's overwhelming. There's a lot going on. You're dealing with a lot of stuff. But you have the ability to dig and pull that inner strength out of you. I'm not a quitter. As I collapse, Eminem Collapse is coming out. I think, pull that shit out of you. Because I'm not a quitter. Don't give up on yourself. Fight through this. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Believe in yourself and know that you're strong enough to do this. You are, okay? All right, we're gonna do a little bit of these chimes and then reset the energy. Breathe. Got this. Okay, thank you so much.